my editing skills are not that great. I am expecting to be arrested again for trying to turn in law enforcement. This is law enforcement at its finest. Now I am hoping that McCook Police Department is actually willing to help. However, all of the people that I have gone to, all of the people that I have called, the places that they tell me to call repeatedly, I got a whole list here of, it says Southwest Nebraska Child Advocacy Team, and the number that everyone keeps referring me to is, let me see, well, Suicide Prevention Lifeline, they blow you off. They don't care. They're quite inhumane about the situation. Then there's Legal Aid of Nebraska. Everyone wants me to call Legal Aid of Nebraska. The lady that I spoke with, the McCook Sheriff's Department, sent me to some other line. Let me find the piece of paper from that. They sent me to Nebraska Strong Family Hotline, and Nebraska Strong Family Hotline sent me to Legal Aid of Nebraska, and they called it the statewide access line. When I told them I had already called the Legal Aid of Nebraska, and that phone call is recorded on this YouTube channel. When I called the Legal Aid of Nebraska, this lady gives me the number for the statewide access line. So she just changed the name of it to something that it's not. It's not statewide access line, it's Legal Aid of Nebraska, a place that I have literally dozens of phone calls with. Dan Fabert is getting a hold of me. I typed to him, I'm supposed to talk to a detective tomorrow in McCook. He typed, wow, that's good news. I typed, do you remember how I was treated the last 20 times I went in? It wasn't good news. My neighbor here at the motel said he would go in with me. So having someone go in with me is good news. He typed, yeah, that should help. He also typed, my sources say it could be a setup. Forever vigilant. I typed, can I call? He typed, at Walmart, I'll be free tonight though. So I'm typing, I might be in jail tonight. As you typed, it could be a setup. That's why I'm trying to call now. There's also Amanda Demet, and I'm going to read her messages to me. She typed, I know. I typed, I meet with McCook PD detectives this afternoon. She typed, good luck, don't get arrested. I typed, indeed, they tend to do that. She typed, yep. I typed, the fact that you know they're likely to arrest me for trying to turn them in shows you, like the rest of the public, are already aware that law enforcement does this to us. I can barely function. I can barely function. I am so scared right now. Over and over again, law enforcement has twisted, manipulated, contorted, and outright abused their positions to prevent me from showing this evidence. I have to deal with people like Lisa from Region 2, and Veronica Bruce from Region 2, and the people from Region 1. All of these places that I've gone to for help, plain stupid. going out of their way to avoid the situation, to avoid looking at evidence, to make every excuse to talk over me, talk down to me, talk to me like I am a dog. And those calls are recorded. Now, it's okay for them to talk to me like that, but it's wrong if I talk to them like that. I have to worry that all of my evidence, if I am arrested, will be thrown away. It will be reappropriated to someone else, or otherwise prevented from being shown in court. I also have to worry that I will be prevented from going to court, and Leslie Snell will magically win because I was prevented from going to court because I was trying to turn her in. This is what they do repeatedly when I try to turn them in. They trump up charges and have me arrested. Now, it's obvious that this whole time I have been trying to do it the right way. I have been trying to go through the courts, and I have been illegally prevented from doing so by law enforcement for 5 years. This is not okay. And then, of course, I get treated like I'm schizophrenic. Their excuse for not investigating any of the crimes against me is to pretend I'm on drugs and pretend I'm schizophrenic. Pretend I'm on drugs, pretend I'm schizophrenic. Well, let's pretend that I were on drugs and schizophrenic. The evidence is still here. It still exists. If a crime is committed against somebody who does drugs, that crime was still committed against them. It is still against the law for that crime to be committed against them. If someone is schizophrenic and that crime is committed against them... Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, my neighbor here at the hotel, he's willing to go with me to talk to the police. I'm making a series of videos to show what's been going on with that, and how many times Dual County has outright lied and manipulated the situation to have me arrested so I can't turn them in and can't show evidence.
Yeah, so what time were you supposed to go?
They said to go there in the morning, but the guy who's going to be helping me, or who's going to go in with me, he has to go take care of his goats and run some errands this morning, so he's going to go in with me this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So, you think it's set up too, huh?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the one phone call you made to the message you left, I wonder if they're going to try to take action on that.
Well, they've been doing that a lot. I mean, that's the thing, is that they're abusing the hell out of me, and they're using my disabilities as an excuse, and the disabilities they're claiming I have, I don't.
Yeah.
Now, I got that paperwork from my autism advocate I'm going to take in with me. I can't get my printer to work so far as taking stuff off of the internet and sending it to my printer, so that's being a major hassle and a major issue.
Yeah, those printers are always a pain.
They are. Plus, I'm using a hotel internet, and I don't know how to do any of this. And Mandy Singer, she was going to help me, but the problem is that she's got her own stuff going on, and she's overwhelmed and trying not to have meltdowns herself. I really should stop calling them meltdowns, because there's a lot of people that are not autistic that told me that they would have mental breakdowns from this, and I really do need to call it exactly that, mental breakdowns.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to stop victimizing me and, utilizing police across the state to do this. Multiple jurisdictions, having to go to a bunch of agencies where they're literally doing everything they can to not look at evidence, everything they can to look the other way. And I have just a few hours to try to get all this stuff put together to give to those to give to McCook Police Department, and I don't have anyone who's informed of the situation to go in with me. That's the problem with Mandy Singer and her issues right now, is that she's not able to go in with me, and she's scared of going in with me because she doesn't want to be targeted.
Yeah.
So Amanda Daniels, or Amanda DeMette, she also voiced concerns about me possibly getting arrested. I'm scared. I need to have somebody else there with me. I don't have the money for a lawyer. All of my money is eaten up trying to travel to places to try to get the help that I need in order to get this done, and to do it safely where they can't abuse their power to have me arrested for trying to turn them in, which is what they've done over and over again.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. Hopefully that's what he's going to do. He's just going to listen. So it's hard to know for sure.
Well, I'm getting ready to write down the names of some of the videos that evidence is in or evidence is attached to. They keep saying they can't look at anything from other states, but the thing is that they have to. It shows motive and intent. In all of these other situations, they've been allowed to use slander from other states or from other jurisdictions in order to prevent me from having an honest court date. They've allowed stuff from Texas that is outright slander, and I can prove that that lady was playing mind games and manipulating the situation. That's the Kara Johnson Miles situation.
Yeah.
But with me, them able to cut me off from my resources and cut me off from speaking in court by calling me mentally ill, but then denying me the rights to an actual advocate, like they're committing felony after felony, and they know exactly what they're doing. They do this to homeless people daily in almost every courtroom in America.
Yeah, one thing I would try to do, if they do give you enough time to talk, is try to narrow it down a little bit so you don't give them too much, you know? So maybe they'll take a few things seriously. If you throw a whole bunch at them, they might just say, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. That's one of the reasons for, I was hoping that you would be able to have a conference call with me yesterday or the day before to be able to call them up and hopefully have them take it seriously, because you do know so much about the situation. You know, these web sleuth people, you are aware that they exist. You're aware that they're real people, that they're making these fake accounts, and it just... Dual County Sheriff's Department has abused their power to try to hide their crimes and to destroy evidence. This is 7 times they've had me arrested for trying to turn them in several of those occasions they had other departments do it for them. They just press false charges against me and outright lie, and lo and behold, it's magically okay.
Well, yeah, if the cops want to call me, that's fine. I'll talk to them, but yeah, I don't really want to do the whole conference thing with multiple people, but then I'll have some serious anxiety. But I would definitely talk to them if they called me.
Yes, sir. Well, that's a lot of the issue with having a conference call. I mean, at least in that situation, I should be able to record it so that if they pull any BS, at least there's evidence that they pulled BS instead of actually investigating it. Like, the only times that they have allowed me to actually go in and try to turn stuff in, just like in the situation in Longmont, Colorado, and, well, multiple situations, you know, when I go in to turn it in, they trump up charges and arrest me.
Yeah.
With people like Mandy Hughes, you know, in Colorado, that needed to be investigated. The same thing with Alyssa Rainwater, that needed to be investigated. The things that Alyssa Rainwater claimed about Amanda Jonas and the things that Amanda Jonas were claiming, they did not line up. The same thing with what the Sergeant Gerhardt from Boulder said versus what Amanda Balehash said, and she was supposed to be my public pretender there. Amanda Balehash is now a judge in the county that Natalie Bollinger was shot in the head in. I mean, it's... like Mandy Singer said, it's like the Catholic Church shipping around priests who molest children. So I'm really scared to go in. I'm afraid that they're going to, instead of looking at evidence, they're going to arrest me. I don't have anyone here who can take all of this evidence. I don't have time to take it anywhere. Mandy Singer was going to take my stuff and put it in a safe location, but she's overwhelmed right now and got a bunch of stuff going on, and it's just, I don't have the time to take it over there. All of this evidence shows that I've been telling the truth, but who's going to look at it if they throw it all away?
Yeah.
If I leave it in the hotel room, my electronics will probably end up going to the people who run the place, or the people who clean the place, or the janitor or the maintenance man, and all of my paperwork will get thrown away. And
do you trust that neighbor?
I just met him last week.
Might be a decent option if you're desperate, since he's there.
I am desperate, and I've already discussed it with him. So
yeah, at least that's something that you could do immediately if something happened. He could grab it all and put it in a safe place for you. I think most of it at least is on social media, or I know you sent me quite a bit of stuff, and obviously I'll save that, but
most of it is not on social media.
There.
That's the thing. Most of it is not on social media.
It's
not. I have literally hundreds of phone calls and hundreds of pieces of paper that have to be gone through and photocopied that have names on them that, like, sorry, I got too much anxiety. I might puke. It's got social security numbers on it. It's got people's phone numbers on it. Like, even my predators, the ones whose phone numbers that I have kept their phone numbers safe. I have not given their phone numbers out. I have them. I don't call them. I do have them, though.
Yeah.
And much of that is because of the courts.
Yeah, I would definitely try to get your neighbor to help you out then.
He's homeless too, though. He's homeless too, though. I mean, I could probably give him some money. He seems like a pretty decent, wholesome guy, and he talks about the Jesus quite a bit. So
But he has nowhere to put it either.
He doesn't. Now I could give him money to try to send it somewhere, but I mean, where do I have it sent to?
Yeah.
Who can I send it to who's actually going to do something with it? With Mandy, she said that she's going to put it up in somebody else's garage. That's not looking at it. That's not reviewing it or getting it sent to who it needs to. And I am too overwhelmed to even function at this point,
Yeah, I'm living in a little shack right now out in Wisconsin. I got nothing. I have no room at all. I lost my house. I pretty much lost everything, so I'm trying to build up a place. I have nothing. It's like a little shed.
That's what I was living in before Natalie was killed. A garage behind Ken and Leah's house. They tried to make me out to be crazy because I was living in those conditions. It's not like I wanted that. It's not like I chose to live in such crappy... Well, I did choose to live there, but I mean, it was either that or out in the cold. I mean, living in Chapel, Nebraska at that point was not a viable
All you wanted was a roof, right? That's all that mattered at that time.
I needed a roof that was close to services, and that's the whole thing about going to the Front Range and living in Colorado. And people want to pretend that I stalked Natalie to Colorado. I didn't even know she was there.
Yeah.
In all these situations, I'm not allowed to show evidence that proves that these people are lying, or that they're trying to use situations that, are like that to pretend that I was some sort of a terrible monster. No, I was living at Ken and Leah's so that I could get help from Jeff Ritter and Kara Hellers through the Colorado Coalition of the Homeless and Stout Street Clinic to try to get the resources to actually help me, to do the things that me and Tamara had started with Region 1 in Nebraska back in 2017. Like,
Yeah.
I've done everything that I can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you working today?
No, I'm not working today. I've just been out getting some stuff done. I'm not supposed to start till the 14th, but I had a physical yesterday. I got a couple torn ligaments in my back, so I'm not positive. I think it'll be okay. I think they'll let me work, but I knew something was wrong, but I just never got it checked into.
Well, I've gone to the doctors about my back quite a few times.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I know yours is really bad.
they told me not to lift anything above 10 pounds, and
Yeah.
like I have any choice. When you're homeless, you
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
move
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, you can't even live without your use of your back. So whatever they tell me, I just say okay, and you can't listen. You can't function without using your back. So
Yep.
I'm just going to have to suck it up, take some Advil, and move on.
Well, that's one of the things with me being unable to take care of myself. The doctor says not to lift anything above 10 pounds, and that shows that I do need assistance with stuff like that. But then I end up screwing my back up further because I have to carry stuff, I have to move stuff, I have to transport stuff, and it's not drugs, it's evidence.
Right, yeah.
All right, Dan. Well, I guess I'm going to let you go. I might call you while I'm down there at the police department. I hope I don't get arrested.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully it's legit, and yeah, like I said, I should be home later, so I should be able to get your call. If not, I'll text you and let you know when I'm going to get home.
Yes, sir. Be safe,
okay,
and
man.
I'll call you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay. All right, bye.
Oh my God. I can barely function. When I was supposed to turn in the crimes committed by the Bollingers and by the police in Colorado, the officer that arranged with me was Amanda Jonas, and also a man by the name of Brian Valenzuela, and they were supposed to investigate the crimes against me, and they didn't. They used the fact that I was arrested as an excuse to pretend those crimes didn't exist. This is inhumane.